So, Ongbal. Who is he? He blew up with his Sekiro Shadow Stage Rise videos, where he defeated every boss without taking damage. But that was just the beginning. He didn't stop there. From the very beginning, Dark Souls 3, to all kinds of action games, anything with a parry mechanic, Souls-likes, you name it, he shows up and completely dismantles every boss flawlessly. The craziest part? He makes it look so easy, effortless even. That's why people started calling him the parry god. Or just something really absurd. But that raises the question. How? How is he so good? Is it because he's Asian? Or maybe he's the reincarnation of Virgil himself? Who knows? What I do know is this. I'm neither, I'm just a normal player. And yet I managed to no-hit duelistas from Clair Obscura, Expedition 33, and many more bosses, but that's a story for the future. So in this video I showed you the entire process from knowing nothing about a boss to mastering it. Because that idea of I wish I could be like Ongbal, I want to make it a reality. My training buddy for this video will be duelistas from Expedition 33, but my methods work for most games. Before I start, let me say it straight. Learning how to no-hit a boss takes time, and it's not easy. After watching this video, you won't suddenly be like Goku in Ultra Instinct, where your body takes over and dodges everything for you, but you will know how to reach it. And the most important part, it has to be fun. That's the whole point. If you're not enjoying yourself while trying to get a boss, then no-hitting might not be for you. Also, you don't have to no-hit every single boss in existence. If you're like me and hate multi-boss fights, focus on mastering the bosses you enjoy. It's more fun that way. Unless, of course, you want to do a challenge run where you no-hit everything. If you're unsure whether you like no-hitting, start with your favorite boss. Learn their moveset, practice, and maybe you'll find the same joy I did. But how do you even learn a moveset? Is it just dying hundreds of times in the fight? Yes, but there's more to it. Let's begin. First of all, you need to understand the core principle of fighting enemies in games. The enemy will first attack you, then you will avoid the attack by dodging or parrying, and then you can punish him. Doesn't that sound familiar? Maybe a little bit turn-based? In a way, almost every game is turn-based, just like Clair Obscura Expedition 33. Honestly, I'm still surprised Expedition 33 hasn't won Best Racing Game, but back to the point, keep this idea in mind, because I break everything down into two parts. Okay, so let's start with the first part. The first part is learning how to avoid attacks, because before you can punish properly, you need to survive in the first place. To get better at dodging or parrying, you need to start organizing the moveset. So what the hell do I mean by that? The boss you want to master probably has a lot of different attacks, and it can quickly become overwhelming to keep track of what's coming next. That's why it's time to start relying only on muscle memory and rhythm, and start using your brain as well. The first step is to name the attacks. I chose Clair Obscura for this, because the game already names attacks. That makes it easier to show what I mean. The goal is simple. You identify an attack by its starting motion. The very first movement the boss makes. That way you already know what's coming next. In games that don't name attacks, you have to do it yourself. The names don't matter, they just need to be recognizable. I usually go with things like short combo, long combo, delayed combo or easy combo. You can call them whatever you want, as long as you instantly know what they mean. Also keep in mind, an attack can be multiple hits or just a single delayed strike. Both count as one attack. Phases matter too. Treat each phase according to what it actually is. If it's a completely new moveset, treat it like a brand new boss. If it's just a variation of the first phase, handle it as an altered version. Even if attacks look similar, they are often slightly changed, like a delayed final hit. Pray to God it's not like that, because that can completely throw off your muscle memory. So instead of just long combo, think more like this: long combo phase 1 and long combo phase 2. Let's take my training buddy duelistas as an example. Here's 2 phases and a total of 8 combo attacks, 4 in each phase. Let's see how an attack can be identified by the starting motion. First, the sneaky combo or shadow clone attack is how I would have named it. Here you can see the black duelista moves forward while the white one stays back away. And the second attack, the duo attack, the white moves forward and the black stays still. I think you get the point, you do this for all the attacks. As you can see, you always identify the attack by the first movement. That's the key. For phase 2 you do the same thing, just treat them as separate versions of the attacks or completely new attacks. Once you've named every attack, you're ready for the next step. Now that you've named the attacks, you also need to know how many hits each attack has. This will tie in perfectly with the final step 3. It's straightforward. For example, the duo attack has 17 hits. Go ahead and count the hits for every attack. Once you've done that, we move on to step 3. The final step, step 3, is sorting hits by speed and interval to form groups. This is the most important part for avoiding an attack. Ask yourself, how fast is it? Is it slow, moderate, fast or delayed? The speed tells you when to press the dodge or parry button. I like to categorize moves like this. Slow, that's really easy to react to. Moderate, it's reactable but requires attention. Fast, basically unreactable. You have to anticipate the attack. Often, fast moves are slightly delayed, like when a boss charges it up and then unleashes it in an instant. This is where counting the hits from step 2 comes in. Take the duo attack as an example. Hits 1 and 2 are moderate speed, coming one after the other. Hit 3 has the same speed but comes a bit later, giving the feeling of 1, 2, 3. I group these 3 together as group 1. Because of the short break after hit 3, the rhythm resets. The intervals between hits determine how they grouped. Hits 4 through 9 all have the same speed and feel connected, but there's a noticeably larger gap between hits 4 and 5, and a slightly longer interval between hits 6 and 7. Even so, I included them all together as group 2. Step 3 is all about identifying these groups. And of course, you do all these steps simultaneously. You see the attack, count the hits, group them by speed and interval, and then assign a name once you've seen it like 2 or 3 times. In the end, inside your head, it would look like this. Now you have a clear image of what I'm talking about. This is how you break down an entire moveset into its individual pieces. I did this for both phases, and you can pause the video if you want to study it more thoroughly. So, what now? How does all this knowledge help you know exactly when to press dodge or parry? The truth is, it doesn't. At least not directly. Timing is mostly intuitive, or learned through trial and error. I can't show you the perfect moment for every attack in one video. That would require a video for each boss. The knowledge won't tell you the perfect moment for every attack, but it will help you reach perfection. You've probably already done some of these steps unconsciously in the past, but it's far more effective to do them consciously. Breaking the moveset into its pieces trains your muscle memory and rhythm on purpose. You won't be surprised anymore. You'll always know what's coming next and how fast each attack is. Once you've done that, everything suddenly looks easier. Let me show you some dualistic attacks that aren't intuitive for me to parry, so you know what to watch for. First of all, slow moves give you plenty of time, but they can trick you into pressing too early. For example, hit 10 from the duo attack. You press the button right when the staff is about to hit you. It even feels like it's already inside you when you have to press it. On the other hand, fast moves try to trick you into pressing too late. Hit 15 from the duo attack is a good example. You have to press the button the moment you see the attack start descending. Same with hit 16. If you try to react to it, like pressing the button when you see he's on the way to you, it's already too late. The impressive combo hit 7 is similar. Press parry as soon as you see the sword's first downward movement. But again, if you really want the timing to get into your bones, you have to fight the boss over and over again. Now that you understand how to avoid every single attack, you've already done the hardest part. But there's one more step. The boss still has a health bar, and it has to go down. That's part 2, punishing the attacks. This part is much simpler, but it's also highly boss dependent. I can't teach you everything, because it varies a lot between games. Clair Obscur, for example, is turn-based. You can only attack after the boss has moved, and your turn isn't time-gated, so you can use whatever strategy you like. In more traditional action games though, there are a few important factors to consider. First, length of the opening. You've avoided an attack, and now the boss is stuck in an animation or looks vulnerable. That's your opening. This is where you punish him, but you need to be careful. You have to know how long that opening actually lasts, because that determines what you can do. If the opening is long, obviously you can go for multiple hits or even charge up a stronger attack. If it's short, you might only have time for a quick hit, otherwise you won't be able to avoid the next attack. Number 2, positioning. This one is harder to recognize and sometimes positioning doesn't even matter. But in certain fights, it makes a huge difference. A good example I can think of is the Elden Beast fight from Elden Ring. If you move in the right direction, you can make attacks miss completely and create your own opening. That way you're dealing damage while the boss can't hit you. and that feels so awesome. Number 3. Openings during combos. This one is pretty straightforward. Sometimes there's a gap between hits in a combo. For example, if there's a long enough pause between hit 2 and 3, like 2, 3, you might have time to sneak in a quick attack. If you see that opportunity, take it. And that's about it for the general rules. Beyond this, it becomes very boss specific. To cover every possible opening, you need a separate breakdown for each boss. That's it, you now have the tools. What you do with them is up to you. There's no better training than experience. So go out there and fight. You're going to die. A lot. Maybe hundreds of times. But if you follow these steps, every death teaches you something. Don't die for nothing. You only lose when you stop trying. As long as you keep going, you're improving. And eventually, you will win. Here's a quick death montage of mine. This is what staying motivated looks like. I don't know how many of you will stay for my final words, so I'm saying it right now. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. It was my first video and it would absolutely make my day. Oh my god. Oh! Fuck. Oh. Bro. Bro, fuck this shit. Bro. Push me. Oh. Fuck! 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 No! Fuck. Bro! Bro. Oh shit. No! Fuck! No! Oh my god! No! Oh my god. Ah! I don't know. No! Fuck it up! I don't know. Bro, hey! Nein! Oi! What's this? Ah! No, no, no. Oh, holy hell! I told you, you're gonna die a lot. But what do you get after all those deaths? It's pure perfection, baby. Oh yes! Fucking let's go, baby! My hands are so sweaty, oh my god. 324 parries. Ja. 12 Minuten. Oh mein Gott, Bro.